everybody. I am so upset because I was talking for 5 minutes and I realized I wasn't recording. How typical of me. How typical of me. Anybody who knows this knows, like, yep, that's paella. So, I didn't have my glasses on and I was like talking. I'm like, something's wrong here. I don't see something that it's recording. And I looked, I'm like, oh, it's not even recording. I have to start over. Oh goodness. Okay, bear with me. This is the life of your own pathway, is when Paia forgets to record her damn camera. I was speaking from the bottom of my heart and it wasn't even recording. How typical. Okay. But anyways, happy beginning of the week. I officially dropped my first vlog episode and I hope you get a chance to view it. It's about why I chose to walk away from therapy, and it was a very personal vlog, and I hesitated, I think, for a long time because what I said, I think, could offend other people, and yet I'm like, you know what though, this is my truth, so I'm gonna speak it, and if it offends people, it offends people, and quite frankly, if it offends you, I would challenge you and ask, why does it trigger you about what I said? So yeah, it is in the description box. So I hope you get a chance to view it. And today, again, is the beginning of the week. I have lots of things to do today. So hence, that's why I put on my face and put some earrings on. And if you may have noticed, I got my nails done. I got it done last week. I decided to go for something that would go with my summer tan. And since it's July, I wanted to go with like a pastel color before summer ends. Usually, anybody who knows me knows that I love my reds, my purples, and my pinks. This time I went with like Barbie pink. Is this Barbie pink? Hot pink? Is this hot pink? I guess I don't know my colors here. So someone who knows the colors, tell me, is this hot pink or what? So regardless, it is pink. I love it. The nail person did a great job. You know who you are. Love this, love this. Okay, enough about my nails. Before anybody asks us, yes, they are real. None of this is fake. None of this is fake. All right. So, but anyways, yeah. Another week, and this morning was a lovely, lovely morning. I got up, I had my water, had my coffee. It started getting really dark because it was going to rain, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lit candles. So I lit candles, and I just wrote in my journal, and I just thought, wow, this is an amazing life here that I have. And this week's episode is called, yeah, it's awesome to be me. It's awesome to be me because I created the life that I wanted, and I created, and this word may trigger people. I know I'm saying the word trigger a lot during this vlog, but the word privilege. I think that the word privilege has been very villainized, especially here in this country, and I want to acknowledge that, yeah, a lot of people are born with certain privileges that some people don't have. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to own that. And I also want to say that you can create your own privileges. I create my own privileges. And by creating my own privileges, I was able to have a slow Monday morning by journaling, having coffee, and just being so grateful that I have this life. And this week is all about why, yes, it's awesome to be me. And before people jump at me and be all like, oh yeah, Paia is bragging, I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. I want to tell you all how I came to be here. And this is not a crash course. I'm not selling you courses and say, you too can be like me. Not at all. Not at all. There are lots of things that I admit that I have. Certain advantages, certain privileges I admit that I have that other people may not have. And so I will talk more about all of this during this week's vlog. So I am getting ready to prepare for my live stream. I have 2 live streams with Cadre, Mondays and Wednesdays, and today's Monday, where I will talk about leadership, mental well-being in leadership and in the workplace. I think that's what it's called. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I have that, and I'm gonna do some recording. And what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a recording for go live on Cadre too. So today is definitely a Monday also, because I'm just kind of fumbling around. So I will talk to you in a little bit here, and see you in a bit. Okay, everybody, I have my glasses on. I couldn't find my glasses for a little bit, so I am preparing for my content today. And when I have content, I usually write it in my notebook here, and my little what do you call this, my little sticky note says, I don't know if you guys can read it again, it says, take risks, your soul has wings. So that is for anybody who is hesitant about taking risks, taking a leap. Remember, your soul has wings. So, my God, it looks so... I have one of my lights here. So this is behind the scenes of your own pathway. As you can see, it is very unorganized here, but you know what? That's part of your own pathway. So I like to write down what I'm going to talk about. I like to put pointers down. So again, I have one of my live streams today, and I think I'm going to talk about having a beginner's mindset. So last week, you guys all saw me with my pens. So I have 5, 6, 7, and I think I am going to choose, oh, there's so many. I am going to, what a big decision. Which pen should I choose? Okay. Abracadabra, abracadabra. Ooh, says, I'm a middle person, so this one. Ooh, all right, this is a chosen pen of the day where I will choose to write this pen. So yeah, I am coming up with content. I like to have, I don't have scripts when I do live for Cadre. I like to just have outlines, and so I'm gonna write my outline here, showing you behind the scenes of what I do. Hey everybody, welcome to another week of my vlog here. It is the middle of the week. I've had a busy, I should clarify, I've had a very productive week already, and this morning I'm already tired because I ordered a bunch of household stuff that was left outside, which I understand, you know. I prefer to have myself be delivered and have the doorbell ring, because I'm just like that type of person during COVID precautions. So I have kept that, and my goodness, did I have some heavy shit to carry. Yes, I said shit because it was some heavy shit, and I live on the second floor, and my stairs are so steep, so I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Funny thing is, when I worked with a personal trainer, he complimented me in saying, "You have a really strong back. You have a lot of back muscles." And so whenever we did weightlifting, I always did really well on the back exercises. And I kind of joked to him, "Yeah, it's for all the trauma and shit I had to carry." And I laughed, ha 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 ha. And I thought about it. I'm like, oh, damn, that's not a joke. And when I say trauma, I mean a lot of the little T traumas and learning to survive instead of thriving. And so I carry a lot of that with me. And I just kind of joked about it. But you know what? I'm so glad that my personal trainer and I worked on my back muscles, because honestly, those back muscles really help me carry shit up the stairs. And so I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and my day is just beginning. So again, I've had a really productive week. In I'm in a creative mode this week. So I have lots of things coming out on YouTube, a lot of recording. I have my first ever peer coaching group today with Kari. Very excited. This was set like a month ago, and I swear it felt like we just um got all this going, and I'm like, oh yeah, that seems so far away. Late July seems so far away. Yet here we are. So it's flying by, days are flying by. When people say, oh, this day is going by so slow or this week is going by so slow, I don't ever feel that way at all. I feel as though my days just zoom by and my weeks zoom by even faster. I feel like a lot of this has happened because I am living in the life that I want. Definitely when I did my 9 to 5 or when I was seeing lots of clients. When I saw lots of clients for therapy, don't get me wrong, I felt very fast, but fast in a way where it was surviving kind of fast, if that makes sense, where it wasn't thriving kind of fast, where I was doing things that I wanted and seeing clients. Again, I loved my therapy clients, nothing against them. I just felt that I outgrew it. So if you haven't had a chance to watch my first official vlog on why I um, walked away from therapy, definitely catch it. I will put the link in the description box. And so this week I am focusing on something that might again upset people, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say my truth. And my truth is, for some reason, people really like to shame me for the life that I have. And when I say the life that I have, I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, look at my life. It's so wonderful. It's so perfect. Far, far, far from it. And what I mean is, I've had to make a lot of sacrifices, or I've had to make choices, is what I meant. I've had to make choices that were not instant gratification. And, oh, for 2020, because, we all know what happened in 2020. From about 2020 to 2024, I did not go on vacation at all. And I did take one vacation to Las Vegas, which, it's Las Vegas, it's like 3 days. So I guess that kind of counts, but that was like 2021, 3 days. But I have not gone on vacation since for 4 years to Bali. And that was a huge trip. And that was a trip for me to go for a coaching it was like a coaching retreat for women. And again, that's another story, but that was about a year ago. Yeah, it's been about a year now. I went there late July till middle of August. I was there for 2 weeks. But what I'm saying is, when people try to shame me about the life that I live, they was like, oh, Paya, so it must be so nice to be you. I'm like, I used to feel guilty when people said that to me. Like, I do have an easy life. And when I say easy, I mean, I get to care about myself, and I have an extended family. Yes, I care for them too, but for the most part, I get to really live life on my own terms, and that seems to really upset people. And so when they see me live, or when they see that I have boundaries and I don't have to put myself out there to be exhausted, a lot of people get angry and would say these things to me. Oh, it must be so nice to be you. Oh, it must be nice to not have kids. Oh, it must be nice to be single. Oh, it must be nice to not have any type of responsibilities. And for so long, I got shamed for that. People thought that because I didn't have children or a husband, that I did not deserve to have time off, or that I didn't deserve vacation, or that I had to stay after work because other people had kids and I didn't. So for some reason, my time was not as important as theirs. And I would I will rebut and say it's because I'm single. It's because I enjoy my own company that I deserve time off. So people are like, oh, you don't deserve time off. You don't need Christmas off like we do because we have kids and you don't. And for the longest time, I kind of felt bad. I'm like, okay, you know what? They have a point. People have kids and they should have Christmas break off while I work. Because that time, it was really quiet. Nothing was really going on. And I'm like, okay. Plus, I really did not go on vacation during summer. I usually went on vacation during off seasons, like during the fall, October, November, September, October, November. And I would go during March, April, May. So I really didn't travel in the summer where a lot of parents needed off. So to me back then, I'm like, you know what? That's perfectly fine. But when I started my own business and for the first time, I took off Christmas break. I'm like, whoa, this is so nice. I'm like, wow, it's so nice to just relax after the holidays and take care of myself and do nothing and recuperate from transitions of October through December. I swear, my life starts. Oh, I'm done. My life starts getting so busy. I would say even when fall hits, like things are getting so busy, and then we all rush until Christmas, and then after that, it's like January. It's like the slump, and it's exhausting for us single people too. Not just exhausting for people who have kids. And I'm not trying to say, oh, well, parents, you don't deserve time off. You do, but you know what? So do us. So do people who don't have kids. We deserve time off. We deserve to rest too. And so when people know that I don't have kids, that I'm not married, that I live alone, that I'm single, for some reason, people just like to shame me. And um, I'm like, you know what? It's because I made decisions. It's because I make conscious decisions that allow me to have certain privileges. Yes, I'm saying the P word, privileges. And I feel like the word privilege has been weaponized in such a negative way that whenever we hear the word privilege, oh, you're so privileged, it's very based on a systematic type of, I guess, like resource. And I want to say that you can create your own privilege too. That has nothing to do with systematic resources. You can create your own resources, and that's based on the decisions that you make that allow you to have certain privileges. And I used to be guilty of having those privileges because people will always point out, oh, it's so nice to be you, or it's so easy to be you, or if I ever get to be reborn, I want to be you. And I used to get offended. Now I'm just like, yeah, you're right. It is nice to be me. It is nice to be me. And that's why I'm here and that's why you're there. Yes, I said it. That's why I'm here and that's why you're there. When I say this, it's because I was willing to take risks. I was willing to make decisions that was not popular with the whole. I made decisions that was really from within, even though I knew that was going to be unpopular, even though I knew that I was going to be ostracized by people within my community, within my culture, from society, because as a woman, I chose a very different path. And then they see the advantages that I get because I made those decisions, and then they get resentful towards me, and they make comments like, "Oh yeah, it must be nice to be you, Paya. Oh yeah, you get so much rest. Oh, you just get to take care of yourself. Oh, you don't have to do this and you don't have to do that." Again, I used to feel really bad, but now I'm like, yeah. I just say, and I'm honest. I'm like, yeah, it is nice to be me. It is nice to be me because again I made those decisions. So all right, I am going to continue all of this. I have a very productive day. Today is my recording day. I also have my live stream, and so I'm going to continue on with this conversation right after all of this. Hello everyone, I'm back. I was going to say adios everybody, but I'm like, wait, that's goodbye. So hey everyone, I am officially back to my vlog here. As you can see, I'm just like trying to find words to say because it has been a day here from your own pathway. It's definitely been a day. It's been a very productive week, and I just got done doing a lots of things. I just got done recording an episode for Your Own Pathway YouTube series. Check that out. It'll be out. I'm actually talking about instead of goodness, midlife crisis, how elder millennials and Gen X's are redefining crisis to awakenings. And so catch the episode. It is on my YouTube channel. So yeah, get a chance to look at it, especially if you are an elder millennial or a Gen X whose life is like, you know what, I want something different. That episode is definitely for you. So as you can see, I feel like my words are just kind of not slurred, but I'm definitely slower because like I said, it's been a very productive week. It's been a very productive day also. It also rained, and so it's kind of dark right now, and I'm doing this about 6 p.m., which is my normal time. I'm usually still working around 6 p.m. So, anyways, I hope you enjoy my earlier segments, part of the vlog. I'm so excited that I put out my first official vlog, and I started adding music and all of that. So, very exciting for anybody who's watching this, please understand I'm such a beginner. I'm so a beginner at all this creative tech stuff. And I'm using all the tools at my disposal, which includes Canva and Gemini and iMovie. I just started learning how to use iMovie because Canva couldn't support all the work that I was doing. So I'm like, oh my God, what do I have to use? And of course, speaking of tools, I have a MacBook, which was a huge investment for me. I'm like, wow, I have this resource right here. Why don't I just use it? So it's been very helpful. Again, if anybody's watching this who's like, Paya, you really should just try this platform instead of using all different three platforms. This may be the best for you. I am so open to any feedback. But until then, I'm going to use all three to just help me create my vlogs, my YouTube episodes, my podcast, everything that I'm doing. So lots of creative stuff. I'm definitely in a creative mood this week, exploring lots of different things. It's like my inner child is coming out with all the artsy stuff that I didn't know that I could do. So very exciting with your own pathway and discovering all this stuff here. So yay, I'm so proud of myself. I wanted to get back to my week's episode, my week's vlog of. I have to make sure my microphone is working here. My week's episode of yes, it's awesome to be me and how I created my own privilege. So I left off earlier about how for about almost 4 years, I did not go on vacation from 2020 to 2024 because I was building my business. I was doing so many things. And when you build a business, there are lots of things that you have to prioritize. And one of the things that I had to prioritize was my finances, which I um everything that I made I put back into my business. So I did not have any loans. I did not take out anything for that. I funded all of that because of the money that I saved from working from home. And when I knew that I was going to start my business, I had three jobs. I was doing therapy, my full time therapy work, and I was also working at other therapy platforms to save money. So I had three jobs at one point. Other things that I had to do were I also could not take a vacation. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna admit this, I had so much FOMO for people who were on vacation after, of course, the COVID restrictions were lifted. People were going on vacations, they were going on fabulous ass vacations. And I met, I allowed social media to get to me. And I was like, God, so nice. It must be so nice to be them. And here I was saying the same thing. Oh, it must be so nice to be them. You know what? I bet it was nice to them. What I told myself was, I don't want to
live a life where I had to take vacation to escape my life. And what I mean by this is I didn't want to live a life where I live for vacations. If you're the type of person who lives for vacations, perfectly fine, each to their own. I used to be like that too, where I'm like, oh my God, I work so I can go vacation. I save my PTO so I can go vacation. And when I come back, I'm like, okay, I'm going to work hard because I can go on my next vacation. It was just this cycle. And even when I did that, though, I didn't enjoy my day to day life. I was just going through the motions. I was in autopilot. I was a type that live for the weekends, had the Sunday blues, and by the time I started my business, I I didn't have the Sunday blues. I should clarify and say, when I was doing therapy, I didn't have the Sunday blues because there was a lot more. I had a lot more independence, and so I did not have the Sunday blues as much. However, I wanted to create a life where I did not have to rely on vacation to escape my life, if that made sense. I wanted to create a life where every day I woke up, I was happy, I was grateful, I got to do what I get to do, and that I didn't dread it, that I didn't dread getting up, that I didn't dread my day, that I didn't dread the people that I would see. I did all that, and it sucks you. It sucks your life. It sucks your soul. And yeah, I laugh at all that, like during Instagram, like stories and satire stuff, and I laugh at that. But I'm like, I don't want that life for myself anymore. I want to create a life where I don't have to escape. Oh, gotta make sure this is all recording. Okay, it's recording. As you can see, I don't have my glasses on again. I hope you guys all see your own pathway here. I had my glasses recording, doing all of that ready. So when I don't have to wear my glasses, it's like, whew, all right. But as I was saying, I wanted to create a life where I did not have to escape through vacation. I didn't have to escape from my day to day life. And I know this is gonna piss some people off or trigger, but I'm like, you know what? That's not a way for me to live. I don't want to not be happy day to day. I realize now that my life is not to be a 9 to 5er. This is just me. My life is not to be a 9 to 5er and wait for the weekend. If that is your life and that's what you like, kudos to you, more power to you, that you can find balance, you can find boundaries, you can find happiness out of that. Kudos to you. For me, though, that wasn't me. And so that's why I didn't take the vacations. I saved my funds. I worked so hard so that I could live the life that I wanted and I could fund my business and do all the things that I needed to do to put my brand, my name out there. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hella hard. It is so hard to put yourself out there and not get anything in return, but you have to show up every day consistently for yourself. And it is so easy to give up. And unfortunately, I do see a lot of people give up. I have been on this journey for about 3 years now. I had this conversation with a friend, and I said, you know what? Not a lot of people do what we do. And what I mean by this is a lot of people would have given up. A lot of people would have given up because, again, all of our lives, we all live different lives. We all live different lives. We all have different type of resources. We all have different type of privileges. And that could really make or break some of us. And so now that you've heard a little bit of background about my story, like how I got to be where I am and how I saved money working 3 jobs, um, I was able to do a lot of things that some people may not be able to. And I also want to admit that I have certain privileges that other people do not have. I'm going to admit that. I will call that out. And here are some of the few privileges that I have that I think probably did give me an advantage over other people. And I want to say, again, we all live different lives, we all have different circumstances. And at the same time, you have to be in it in the long run, long haul. A lot of people do this for about 6 months and they quit. If I had quit in 6 months, I I could have easily quit in 6 months, honestly. I could have easily quit in 6 months. But I knew that I put in way too much effort to stop. And this is something that I'm going to say right now. I have not had predictable income since 2021. I have not had predictable income since I started being a therapist. When I transitioned to therapy, I was shocked at my pay. I'm like, whoa, I really have to work to make my money. So in a sense, it was all commission based. It was all commission based. So in a way, it was like doing sales or being a oh my god, what are people who call sell homes again? I cannot think of it, guys. It's late. Please let me know what's the name of this. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? People who sell homes. Oh my god, what are they? Realtors. Okay, realtors. Okay. I was like a realtor. I was like doing sales and it felt like that. And so I knew everything was for me. So when I decided to start my business, I thought, is this a risk I want to take or not? And I was like, girl, to myself, I was talking to myself. I'm like, girl, you're already in the damn water. You might as well keep swimming. What's the point of turning back? You're in the water already. You are like treading. You're okay. Yes, you're like doing this right now, but your head is still above water. Not a lot, but you're still breathing. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I've come way too far to swim back. And I have not swam back since then. I'm fully swimming. I'm fully swimming, and my head is still very much like this. Sometimes like, what? But I'm like very much like this. Um, and so with that, I I was talking about like resources about what I. So I was used to the unpredictability that really allowed me to just keep moving in, like just keep going. And I know that a lot of people don't have that flexibility because they have a family, they have other things that take priority. And I want to say right now, one of the biggest advantages I do have and disadvantage that I have is that I am single. I don't have children. I don't own a home. I rent a home. And so the advantage of this is I don't have kids or anything to worry about. And I don't have pets, by the way. If the cat or dog system were to find me, however, I will be very open to that. So I don't have any dependents, including pets. And so I live a life that is very it's about me where I get to focus on me and take care of me. So that is definitely an advantage. The disadvantage of that is I don't have a partner. I don't have a partner to rely on. So everything that I do, it's all on me. I fail or I thrive. Nobody's going to come to my rescue. I don't have anybody to say, you know what? I can pay for the bills while you focus on this. Don't worry about it. You just focus on you. You don't worry about this. I got everything. You focus on your goals. You focus on your dreams. I got this. Your dreams are my dreams. Our dreams. This is our dream. You succeed. This is for the both of us. I don't have that. Everything's on me. If it succeeds, great. It's on me. If it fails, it's all on me. And so that's also a disadvantage that I had going against me also. Another, I think, resource or privilege that I have was that I'm a mental health therapist and there is not enough therapists out there. So I knew that if I were to take this road, if things were not to work out, I would always have some sort of therapy job Now, notice I said job. What that means is if I was desperate enough or my circumstances were to change, I knew that I could get a job like that. And so I knew that I was safe. I knew that if I were to take the jump, I would I would still have some source of income because my field is so in demand and I could work from home. As a matter of fact, I've been working from home full time since last January. Not this January, last January. So January of 2024. And by the way, people have also said to me, "Oh, you're so lucky. You get to do that. You don't have to do anything." And it's like, first of all, I have worked to the point where I get to make that decision for myself. And I did have an office. However, there were things going on that I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to risk my security and mental health to not be sure about the status of an office. I'm like, I can't do this to myself. So I would rather get rid of my office and come work at home. And I know some people hate working from home. I know some people like working from home. Me, I love working from home. I love working from home. I honestly, financially, that was the best decision that I ever made. I save a lot on other things too. I make my own coffee, so I don't get to go to Caribou or Starbucks or another place often unless I'm meeting someone for a brunch or for coffee for networking, then I go. But otherwise, I make my own coffee. Make my own food. Sometimes I do order in every now and then. I mean, I'm single, so sometimes it's just easier to order in food. So, yes, I am admitting that. So, what else? Another privilege I have is I come from a very large family, and I know that if anything were to happen financially for me, that if I needed it, I could have some sort of help. Now that was going to be long term, but they would probably say, "What are you going to do? Like, what's your plan? What are you going to do to make sure that you have enough in the future?" So I knew that I had that resource too. And plus, I knew that if I really, really, really had to, I could always move back in with my parents, which my mother would love. My mother would love to have me back, but I'm like, nope, that's not gonna happen. So, and so because I have resources with family, and I know that a lot of people don't have that kind of resource or privilege, also. So I'm very blessed with that. Another resource or privilege that I have is that I live in a place that is um, very cost effective. And I chose to remain because I knew that I was going to be taking this risk. And for me to live in a place that is very cost effective was going to be very important. And honestly, I don't think I would be able to do everything that I do now if I did not live in a place that was very cost effective. So I admit I also have that privilege that allows me to have this quote unquote awesome privileged life. At the same time, though, I also think it's the decisions I made, especially in the world where it's all about showing off, like vacations, living in luxury apartments, having a nice car, going out, doing all of that. I could have easily chosen that too, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to live a very, very, very simple life. Like so simple that it's boring. And I've had I've had like family members say that to me too. They're like, God, your life is so boring. How do you do this? And I just think, what do you mean? I'm like, to me, it is so peaceful. I'm like, I have such a peaceful life. And to them, it's boring. I'm like, nope, this is my peace. I protect this peace. I guard it like I guard it. I don't say jealousy, but I guard it like so much because it's so important to me. Because once you find that peace, you don't ever want to have anybody come to disturb it. So I have a very peaceful, I have a very quiet, simple life. And so when I was debating if I wanted to do this vlog, I thought my life is so boring though. I'm like, I have nothing to show. What am I gonna do? I wake up, I journal, I drink my coffee, and then Go walk if it's not too hot. Right now it's so hella hot because we're in July and it's so humid. I don't like hot humid weather unless I'm at the beach. On vacation near a beach, then I'm all for it. But if I'm in the Midwest, in the goddamn forest, or by the river, I don't want to be out. Nope, I'm not gonna be out. I'm gonna stay and be cool. But if I'm in Bali or the Mediterranean or Cancun, 95 degrees, I'll be good with that too. Just give me a pina colada, all right? Then I'll be good. So, anyways, I digress there. And so I'm like, I have such a simple, boring life. Who's gonna watch my vlog? And I thought, okay, why don't you talk? Why don't you talk about your day to day life and the interactions that you have that really help you transcend all of this to your professional life, where you talk about your own pathway, where you talk about creating your own boxes, where you talk about how some people are never going to be happy with you, and being happy with yourself and your path, and learning to be uncomfortable, learning to accept that other people will always be uncomfortable with your life choices, or how people will be triggered by the fact that you are living in peace, which I'm probably going to do an episode on, another vlog on too. So, what basically I'm saying is, to so many people, they can't fathom how you can create your own life, how you can create your own privilege, because everybody thinks privilege is a system. It's untouchable, unreachable, and privilege can be created. You can create your own privilege, and that's how I created my own privilege. I created my own privilege because, again, I was consistent. I kept showing up. I kept going, even when people are like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What you're doing is so I don't want to say, it's like, what's the purpose of you doing this?" In my mind, I'm like, I have this, it's all going to work out. I have the map in my mind. But because it's in my mind, people couldn't see it, and because they couldn't see it, they're like, what are you doing? But I kept going and going and going and showing up for myself and being consistent. And because of that, I was able to create a life for myself that is awesome, that it is freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. And I created this life. Again, this episode is not to brag, like, oh God, look at me, I created this life. I'm saying you can. You can create a life that you want. You have to ask yourself, how much are you willing to put into this life? How much are you willing to put on pause so that you can build the life that you want? Does that pause mean not go on a vacation for a few years? Does that mean that pause means not buying, not shopping all the time? Does that pause mean that you're going to have to cut off some stuff? Does that pause mean that you're going to have to move in with someone? Does that pause mean that, hey, I might have to get an extra job, even though I'm so tired, I don't like this, but I know that I'm doing this for my future self so that I can focus on what it is that I need to once I have the extra funds, or whatever it is. And so there are things that you can do. And so I would ask you, I would challenge any of you who is watching this, who's thinking, well, Paya is just living in Lululand. That's so impossible. If anybody can do it, if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Okay? If I can do it, you guys can do it too. I got none of my privilege handed down to me. I came from a large family. I was the 6 out of 8. We did not have a lot of money. We did not have a lot of resources. And yet, I I could have easily remained a victim of my circumstances. And yet, I chose not to. Some people would rather remain a victim to their circumstances because that's so much easier. To not be a victim means you have to do the work, and some people don't ever want to do the work. And if that's them, that's them. Me, I decided to do the work. I decided to do a lot of the inner work, which has helped me embrace my path and be where I am today. And I'm not gonna accept the shame. People can shame me. I don't care. People can shame me, but I'm not gonna accept it. It's like, yeah, I work hard to be here. When I say work, I work hard. I worked internally hard and externally hard to be here. Again, this is not a story about, oh, I pulled myself up in my bootstraps. Not at all. It's about how I utilize certain resources to help me, but I also created those resources and those privileges to help me create the life that I want. And so when people say to me, oh, it must be nice to be you. Oh, how easy is your life? Oh, you don't understand the struggles that we have to. I don't accept any of that. My struggles may have been different from yours, but I had struggles too. I may not have, I may not have had kids or a husband who didn't, clean up after himself. I may not have those, but I had other challenges that some people would never understand either. And so this is not a competition at all about who has it harder. We all have it hard. And yes, even people with resources have it hard. Not externally, probably, but internally, they probably have some things that they are struggling with also. So when people say to me, it must be nice to be you, now I just said, yes, yes, it is nice to me. It is nice to be me. It's awesome to be me because I created this life and I'm not going to be shamed about it. I am not going to downplay what I had to do to get here. I went through a lot of things and I I took on a lot of things that um did not have how do I say this? Like did not have financial did not get instant like finance. Like I did not get paid like right away making big money or anything. I mean, sometimes there were times when I didn't even get paid. And I just had to keep putting my work out there, keep putting my work out there, keep putting my work out there, be consistent in showing up. And again, I know that a lot of people can't do that, but yet because of the resources that I had, I am able to do that. I think people forget that before I started all this, I put in 14 years of being an employee that allowed me to have certain resources that maybe other people may not have. So I will acknowledge that. I will own it, but yet, you know what? That was 14 years. 14 years of putting in the work to allow me to be where I am today. So for anybody who's getting shamed from other people who may feel guilty because of the life that they created or there are certain privileges that they were born with, don't feel shame, don't feel guilty. You just have to acknowledge it. You just have to acknowledge it and say, yeah, I do have certain privileges. Yeah, I do have certain resources. Yeah. And this is what I am doing to help myself or to help other people. And I'm doing all of this to help anybody who is, again, needing inspiration to forge their own path, who feels stuck, who feels stagnant, and is thinking, is this all there is to life? I used to think that way too. I used to think that way too. And I want to tell you, no, that is not all there is to life. You can truly forge your own path. You truly can own it. You truly can. Part of owning it is knowing and admitting that some days you don't own it. That's fine. Some days I show up 110%. Some days I show up 40%. And I am okay with that. Some days I wake up at 7. Some days I wake up at 9. And I'm okay with that because I know that my body needs it. And one of the things that I'm able to create with this life is I get to pick and choose if I want to thrive or if I want to survive or if I want to rest or if I just, want to take time off or if I'm going to go till 10 p.m. There are nights when I do go to 10 p.m. And if I go to 10 p.m., it means the next day I don't have to start work until 10, 11. And that's how I balance things out. So this is all that I have for this week's vlog, which is don't feel guilty for the life that you have created for yourself. I'm not feeling guilty for the life that I created for myself because of the decisions I made that has allowed me certain privileges and certain resources. It all comes down to choices, and some of those choices are going to go against your culture, your religion, your family expectations, whatever it is. And yet, sometimes you need to make those choices to really, truly create and live the life that you want. And it's going to feel so uncomfortable. It's going to feel so hard at first because people are going to judge you, people are going to shame you. However, as you keep going, you feel more aligned to yourself, you trust your path, you show up, you're consistent, and you're going to realize, wow, this is great. I'm living the life that I want. I get to rest. I don't have to call in sick. I can rest. If I don't feel like working, I can rest and I can make up that work another day. It's okay for me to look after myself. I don't have to keep hustling. I don't have to have burnout anymore. And if I feel myself burnout, I know when I do. And I take a day or two or three, and I do that by not opening up my laptop at all. I do not work at all. And if I want to work and if I'm ready to work, I do easy things. So, again, yes, it's awesome to be me. And I created my own privileges. And again, those privileges were not handed out to me. For people who look like me, for women, I think especially women of color, we've been told that we are victims of a system. And yeah, a lot of us, the system is against us. However, we can learn to use that system for our own well being and our own privileges. And at some point of our lives, women of color, women especially, and women of color, we realize, you know what, we got to build our own table. And by building my own table, I get to create the privilege that I want and create the life that I want. So, this is all that I have for this week's vlog. Thank you so much. I am working on creating more stuff for the vlog, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you um chose a life and a path that is now given back to you and you want to share it, please put it down in the comment section. But otherwise, I will see you all next time, and make sure you catch my other episodes on YouTube, which include my weekly Your Own Pathway. I have a podcast out, and also I have my leadership and mental well-being. So lots of things going on in Your Own Pathway. Thank you for watching, and thank you for just seeing the life of Paia and Your Own Pathways here. So everybody take care.